What's going on, guys? Today we are updating the Theme Team All-Stars tier list. I made this video last week ranking all of the initial the initial 32 92 overall cards that can be upgraded to 99s. Today we are adding the new 32 to that tier list. So you're going to see some old names on here and a couple new names already on here. The guys that we're going to talk about have not yet been ranked, but we're going to rank them throughout today's video today. So of course, before we get started, if you are part of the 67% of people who watch the videos and are not subscribed, let's change that right now. Head down there, hit the subscribe button, turn on those notifications. Without further ado, let's get into the tier list. So first up, we have Dak Prescott. I could show you on here the stats, but as you guys see, it's a little bit confusing. But I can show you the abilities, and it is looking like Dak is going to get every single ability on here as he hits all the thresholds. As you guys can see, if we go to the upgrades here, Dak is going to get 99 awareness. As you can see, 90 plus 9, 99. So he's going to get like things like tactician and, you know, all the abilities. And I'll show you what a QB that doesn't get them looks like. That's Baker Mayfield. Baker still has good setups, right? Baker still has good setups. Dak should also have the Slinger 1 release. If he has Slinger 1, he might be a little bit higher. I'm going to rank him like he does because his previous card had Slinger 1, so I would assume that they're not going to change it. But they changed that card from his earlier card, so they might go back. I don't know what they're going to do. We're not 100% sure yet. But yeah, Dak Prescott, he's going to get the abilities that Baker cannot. Also, physically, I mean, Dak's better. Dak is just better physically than Baker Mayfield is. So as far as what we're going to rank Dak Prescott, Dak could really end up being like a low A tier QB option. As some of the setups you'll be able to build really are pretty flexible, honestly, because you can do you're able to run Fearless if you want to. You're able to run Tactician, Set Feet for 1. If it were me, I would probably go Tactician for 1 AP, Set Feet for 1 AP, so we're at 2 AP, Gunslinger for 4 AP, and then I would probably go Dots X Factor, so we're able to be immune to pressure with Fearless, or you could even go with Running Gun depending on your play style. So Dak's actually a pretty top QB option. Is he better than Lamar or Chad Powers? No, probably not, but good release, good physicals, really good stats, really good abilities to back it up, and some pretty cheap setups. Dak Prescott is a legitimately good QB in this game, and I didn't think he really was going to be that great when I first saw him, but yeah, he's gonna be pretty solid. Okay, perfect. While recording this, they added all the full stats to mud.gg, so big W there. Josh Allen looks like he's gonna be pretty much the same as far as getting every single ability you'd want. He gets Slinger 3. Let me make sure that Dak got Slinger 1. Yeah, okay, Dak did get Slinger 1. Okay, that's actually huge. Josh Allen, Slinger 3. Slinger 3 is not a bad release down the field. The only problem with Slinger 3 for me is when you have to throw the ball to the short flats on either side. It's a little bit slow even with Gunslinger. I like Josh Allen cards that normally play pretty well. This one's going to be a stud. I mean, 99 break tackle, can juke. 98 carrying, good accuracy stats across the board, pretty much golden ticket-like abilities, and also, or not abilities, stats, sorry. And then you have the 98 awareness as well. So Josh Allen should be able to get the same exact stack as Dak Prescott, as they're both improvisers, and they're both going to have the same threshold. So you can run the same setup on Josh Allen. For me, what it comes down to between Josh and Dak is the release. And as someone that prefers Slinger 1, I'm going to put Dak up a level. Even though, Josh Allen, well, I'll go back and I'll show you. Even though Josh Allen is a slightly better runner than Dak, right, as far as like carrying and break tackle goes, I do value the release. Release is probably the most important thing on a QB. Probably abilities, then release, honestly, for a QB. So that's why Josh Allen's just going to be a little bit lower. Is Slinger 3 a bad release? No, it's still really good. I think it's the best release amongst these QBs that have already come out, like Baker. Even Geno's release isn't like crazy good, you know what I mean? So that's my opinion. I'm gonna put Josh Allen high B tier, but honestly, for a QB like Dak or Josh Allen to even be this high up with players of this quality is pretty good. Like, these are probably, I mean, they're 2 top 10 QBs in the game right now. I should mention that. Maybe even a little bit higher. I should mention that. There are just, those AKA QBs are going to be very tough to dethrone. And even, these guys are better than golden ticket QBs. Both Dak and Josh Allen are both better than golden ticket QBs that we've seen so far. And next up, we have Jamin Davis, 6'4", 234 pounds, 98 speed, 99 acceleration. I feel like he is the best middle linebacker user card in the game. Not in the game, sorry. In this promo, I should say. I think he's the best. There's, of course, a bunch of good ones. Like Kenneth Murray's really good. Roquan Smith is really good. Is there any up here that I like? No, yeah, we definitely, yeah, I got Jamin Davis pretty much the highest. We're gonna put Jamin Davis up here at A tier. His physical gets all the good abilities that you'd want your user to get, which is obviously the big deal there. Yes, I mean, really no problems at all with Jamin Davis, to be honest. High motors on yes, which is pretty good there. So, yeah, he's also able to be your user. I wouldn't put him on like the edge on 6'1", but you can let him lurk by himself if you use two like sub linebackers. He has good enough zone and awareness where he should still be effective. So Jamin Davis, good size, good speed, and I do think he is the best middle linebacker theme team all-star that we've seen so far. And I think this is the last part, so this is probably the best we're gonna see. The next man up is CJ Gardner-Johnson, and safeties in this promo, I'm really surprised that there wasn't more. We only got 2 safeties this whole promo, which really shows you how EA is just trying to corner us into spending a bunch of coins on safeties. They truly cornered the safety position this whole year behind LTDs and paying upwards of 1 million coins. So, you know, I think right now the move, personally, to save coins, I mean, if you have all the coins in the world to go buy the safeties, they're obviously better. But what I've been doing, I've been running these cornerbacks at safety as they do get good enough abilities where they can hold their own. That's what I've been doing. And of course, the X factors are also a big deal as well. I should say that too. These cards, if you didn't know, they all get the 66% of the time on X factors, the same as golden tickets do. But CJ Gardner-Johnson, let's get back to him. 5'11", 210, right? And the big thing is his X factors are pre-lit, and he gets all the abilities you'd want on his safety. He's pretty much the same as this Donovan Wilson card that we talked about last week, but he is just slightly better physically, and I just like him. He's a little bit more well-rounded than Donovan Wilson was. So CJ Gardner-Johnson, I would definitely put him, yeah, I would put him over Donovan Wilson by a pretty good amount. I'm going to toss CJ Gardner-Johnson up here in front of Jamin Davis. I think that's where he belongs. He's like just a top. He's not like a top. It's hard to say because he doesn't really compare to some of the safeties that are already in the game. But at his price point, he's pretty good. He's able to get, if you want to play him close to the line of scrimmage, he's able to get flat zone, mid zone for free, or you can go deep out zone, mid zone, or even just get secure tackler and film study, all that stuff with the X factors that light up. So what I kind of like, I don't love this setup normally, but I would actually ditch zone KOs, and I'll show you what I would probably run on this card. Because if you're willing to put the X factor on him, which I probably would, I would go universal. Actually, no, I would probably go reinforcement. I would go reinforcement because this also makes you better against the run as well. So you have reinforcement, and then I would probably go film study. If you don't have a film study already, definitely use the film study. And then I would probably go secure tackler, so you're able to tackle well. Also, you're going to have the KOs and the better block shed and stuff like that. So I would probably go reinforcement, secure, and film study for free. If you already have a film study somewhere, then I guess you could toss on a mid zone or something like that. He does not get tackle supreme, unfortunately, but yeah, some decent setups for CJ Gardner-Johnson. So yeah, I think he goes where he belongs, up here at high-ish A tier. Next up, we have 2 cornerbacks, and that is Sean Murphy-Bunting, who will get Titans, Buccaneers, and Cardinals chems. With some pretty decent tackling stats, but 6'1", 195 with these stats, just kind of a nice plug-and-play corner out there. Is a man-to-man archetype, which doesn't matter that much because their stats are so consistent across the board. We get Derek Stingley, though. Really good hands on Stingley. 88 hit power is really nice. 99 man, 98 zone with 98 speed at 6'1", 190 as well. Stingley cards have a history of just playing really well for me, personally. So I like Stingley a lot. I also like Murphy Bunting, as they are very similar cards. Like, it's very similar. Very, very similar. The only difference, I guess, is, no, they're both man-to-man archetypes. They're very similar cards. So Murphy Bunting and Stingley, I believe, are both going to be high A tier guys. Yeah, let's go high A tier with both those guys. And we still have, what, one more A tier name we need to talk about? Yeah, one more. Okay, here we go. They're starting to put the abilities onto the cards, which is very nice. So I don't have to kind of guess on something. Not guess, but I don't have to go check on the game now. So shout out to Mutt.gg. But Edge Threat Elite doesn't not get film study. I was hoping that he would. Does that hurt the card a little bit? Maybe. I think he needed 95 awareness to get film study. Does that hurt the card a little? I think it does. But I really still don't hate him. I still think he's one of the better defensive linemen in the game. Like, look at these stats here. 98 finesse, 99 power moves. He's over 90 in all the important tackling stats with this speed, this acceleration. I would probably play him as an interior guy, honestly. I would probably play him interior. Obviously, if you want to, you can give him one of the charge ups. Fearmonger's one that. Fearmonger, Unstoppable Force, depending on what you want to do. Yeah, pretty good here. I mean, what does he get? Inside stuff. Inside stuff, interior threat for 0 AP. That's not bad. Or inside stuff. I would probably go. I would honestly probably go inside stuff, edge threat, elite, even if you're gonna play him in the middle. Just so you're able to get those under pressures. That's probably what I would say. Inside, yeah, I would probably play my defensive tackle. He has the build where he's gonna be big enough to play there. He's gonna have this speed and acceleration where he's gonna be super glitchy in there. Rashawn Gary's a really nice card. I think he's probably one of the best pass rushers in this promo. The only downfall with him is the lack of the film study. That's probably the biggest problem. I'm gonna put him. He's probably gonna end up down here because again, the traits aren't perfect, the lack of a film study, but the stats are really good, and of course, pretty versatile. Can play on the edge or can play in the middle. But yeah, I probably would keep Montez Sweat over him. I probably would. It's pretty close. I think these two are pretty close. Obviously, I think Rashawn's a little bit more versatile because he can play in the middle too, but they're both great, obviously. And next up, we have Brandon Ayuk, okay? 6 foot, and the receivers in this promo have been very good. Can I please get rid of this? Thank you. The receivers in this promo have been very good. Of course, they get the X factors, and they get, jukebox, and route tech, or whatever you believe in as a player in Madden. Do you want apprentices? Do you want playmakers? Whatever you want, they get. So yeah, just go jukebox, and then put whatever one of these abilities you want. Can't go wrong with any of them, honestly. You really can't. Or if you want to go mid-elite or something like that, then you put evasive here, and then you switch them. It's that simple. So you can really run whatever you want on these receivers. And again, you have the flexibility still of running whatever X factor you believe works. It's up to you. I think Yak 'em Up's probably still the best, for sure. But obviously, you can run these guys even without the X factors, and they're still really good. So Brandon Ayuk, where would I put him? I think he's a lower S tier guy. And again, I see the comments about the smaller receivers. We're gonna address that today in today's video. Yeah, let's put Ayuk low S tier and let's keep moving here. Okay, so I guess while we're on the position, let's just talk all the receivers pretty much that came out today. So Jordan Addison, 5'11", 175, a great plug and play guy at 5'11", right? And he is short enough where you can get down with this card. Okay, you don't need to have a 5'9" guy out there. So Addison. 5'11", even again, Odell Beckham Jr. is also good at Odell Beckham Jr. is one of the smaller guys that has the good possession catching. You know what I mean? Like, he's good enough. You don't need to have a guy who's 5'5". You don't need to do that. Yeah, at a certain point, you're good, okay? And then you have of course the X factors, all that good stuff, and it doesn't matter what. I already mentioned this. It doesn't matter, but yeah, what this guy said is true. Just as good as a golden ticket. And there's obviously some more wide receivers here as well. We have Addison. We have Marquise Hollywood Brown, who we'll talk about in a second. DeAndre Hopkins is one I really like too. 6'1", 98 speed, 99 acceleration, physical archetype, so won't get like the perfect ability setup, but still good enough. Still good enough, as he will get jukebox here, but no route tech is I guess the only problem. But you get whatever short and elite you want, or slot-o-matic, which works good from playing in the slot. So yeah, I like DeAndre Hopkins. I think he ends up somewhere in here. I would probably go somewhere in here with DeAndre Hopkins, and then Addison. I think Addison, again, the people who value the smaller receiver, and I made the wide receiver tier list. Tyreek Hill wasn't in S tier. I saw the comments. People love small receivers, but at a certain point, you don't got to get too small. Okay, like 5'11", we're cool with 5'11". Okay, 5'11", you're in a position catch the same as a guy who's 5'9". You're also going to have some more of the benefits of a slightly taller guy, where there are still benefits of having tall receivers. You're not going to go out there and build a receiving core with all guys who are 5'9" and 5'8". You're just not going to do that. You're just not. So that's why a guy like Tyreek Hill on the wide receiver tier list was valued a little bit lower, because I wouldn't take him over a lot of the receivers, all the receivers that were in S tier individually. In a receiving core, I like having a guy like Tyreek Hill or Jordan Addison, or even who we'll talk about right now, Marquise Hollywood Brown. I like having a guy like that in my receiving core, but I don't think that they're better than these guys, some of these other wide receivers. So I guess today, for the sake of the comment section, I mean, Marquise Hollywood Brown is pretty much just Tyreek Hill with a better X factor, and the only thing he's really missing is just he's only missing the ability for human joystick. That's the only thing. That's the only thing he's missing. He's pretty much just Tyreek Hill. Yeah, 5'9". 5'9" is the height. So I'm gonna put him at the top. I'll put him at the top for today. Do I love it? No, but I'm gonna put him there. Okay. I don't want to see any comments. Okay, let's talk 2 running backs now. Alvin Kamara, one of my favorites. Okay, Alvin cards always just play great. It's kind of like what Saquon is for the running backs, where all Saquon cards pretty much play very well, or Bo Jackson, someone like that. Alvin Kamara cards, for whatever reason, they always are just really, really good. 98 speed, 98 acceleration. The pass catching is also really, really good on this card. He can legitimately play slot receiver for you. If you want to see the abilities, of course, he's going to get angry runs or freight train, depending on what you want to do there. And then has the abilities to back it up as well. Evasive joystick. Great setup with, with a ball carrier, or you can go backfield master. I don't think he really needs that kind of stuff. Does get slide-o-matic as an option too. So this is a really good card. Alvin Kamara, versatile, will be a good runner, especially with the X factor. So let's slot Alvin up in here. Let's go Alvin up in here before Romeo Dobbs. And then, Addison there. Yeah, that looks pretty good to me. That looks pretty good. Okay, we got 2 more cards to talk about here today. And the next one, let's just do it right now. We got Najee Harris. So Najee Harris, his build is literally perfect, okay? You're going to see the weight. He is 242. That means he is just under the juke move threshold. So this man will still have the good juke move. He's a pretty decent ball catcher. He's not as good as Alvin Kamara. But 96 juke move on him with the perfect build, and he's big enough where he can move very well laterally and cover a lot of ground. This card, even though he only has 97 speed, he might get overlooked, but I'm telling you, this card is legit. This card right here is legit. He's gonna get jukebox and joystick, or you can go evasive joystick if you want to spin. It's up to you. If you want to make him a better pass catcher, go backfield master. It's pretty much like having route tech as well, and some added hot routes. Not that everyone needs it if you have a tactician, but it is an option there for you. So Najee Harris, I think he's one of the best cards from this drop, and I think he might get overlooked. But X factors, perfect build, even though he's not as fast, 99 speed, I get it, but the build, the abilities, and the X factor, to me, it's the perfect storm for running backs. I'm actually gonna put Najee. I'm gonna put him up here. I'm gonna put him in front of JC Horn, honestly. But Najee Harris, pretty much a stud. Okay, if he was a golden ticket, this card would be getting a ton of hype. And if you're looking for a running back, just try out Najee Harris, as I do think he is the best running back from this whole Theme Team All-Star drop. And by the way, that is not including William Perry. I should say that again. That is just including these 92s, not including William Perry. And finally, we have Christian Gonzalez here, 6'1". He's a plug-and-play, 99 speed, 99 acceleration. People might be a little bit afraid of this card because of the zone coverage is not at 99, but you probably have strat cards already that aren't doing anything for your team because everyone already has 99 zone in your team, even without the boost. So being able to utilize the boost here on Christian Gonzalez, get him to 99 zone, should be able to do pretty easily at this point in the year. As far as being a tackler goes, he's not the best, honestly. He's really not the best as a tackler, which is going to hurt the card because he's not going to get things like, secure tackler, for example. But as far as the abilities go, you are able to run him. This is kind of a... this card actually, I was going to put him pretty high, but he kind of does miss the mark because you're going to have to play him at safety because of his deep in-zone KO. You can play him at slot, corner, and zone schemes. If you want to go with flat zone, mid zone for 0, you can do that and make him pretty effective. But him missing deep out zone is a big deal for a cornerback because most of the time your cornerbacks drop up the sidelines and don't really drop into the middle. So yeah, deep zone obviously is nice because you have a little more flexibility, but with these cards you have to choose between deep in zone and deep out zone, which is not the end of the world if you know how your scheme's going to play, but he doesn't even get deep out zone, which is pretty tough. But as far as, being a man-to-man guy, he's one of the best in the game. I mean, not one of the best in the... I like short route one step. Or even deep route, short route, I don't hate. And then you can also always... you can always just use these KOs, as he doesn't get... Okay, he doesn't get reinforcement either. Okay, this is actually... Wait, how does he not get reinforcement? How does he not? I wonder. Because if you take a look at... Can we go back to... Let's go back to here, okay. Pull up the cornerbacks. Let's just look at DJ Reed real quick. DJ Reed, okay, he doesn't get it either. But I swear I thought that... Maybe my Razul doesn't get it. Maybe I have Universal on him instead. Yeah, I must be running Universal on him, not... I must do my controller off my leg. But you see right here, for example, he's able to get deep out zone and mid zone, which is nice. So, it is kind of tough. I think I might honestly go with... If we show here, you're going to see, very good physicals, all that stuff there. Even on a guy like Razul. And then JC Horn even, who I like as well, 6'1", plug and play, 99 speed. I actually would probably go... Yeah, I think I would probably actually end up going with Deep out zone. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do here is we're actually going to move up JC Horn and put JC Horn here. I think Christian Gonzalez ends up much lower than I thought he was going to. Even though he's 6'1" with easy plug and play 99 speed, the lack of the deep out zone and the bad tackling stats do hurt the card a little bit. Rasul's 6'2", JC Horn 6'1". I think I'm going to go with this for my final tier list here. I'm happy with this. Let me know what you guys think. My top 5 cards in this promo: Marquise Brown, number 1, JC Horn, Rasul Douglas, Najee Harris, and Jordan Addison rounding out the top 5. So drop a comment down below. What do you guys think? Who's too high? Who's too low? Let me know down in the comment section. And of course, as always, I will see you boys in the next one.